Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Nino Excellent, and I'll be presenting on the topic titled Atomic Radius. Atomic radius of a chemical element is a is a measure of the size of its atom. It is a measure of the size of its atom. I repeat, atomic radius of a chemical element is a measure of the size of its atom, usually the mean or a typical distance from the center from the center of the nucleus to the boundaries of its surrounding shares of electrons. It is telling us that is a measure of the size of its atom, usually the mean or a typical distance from a center of a nucleus to the boundaries of its surrounding shells. Since the boundaries is not a well physical entity, it means that the boundaries is not a well defined physical entity. There are various non-equivalent definitions of an atomic radius, and these are then van der well radius, ionic radius, and covalent radius. Note, these are also the types of atomic radius, and there are in three numbers. I repeat: covalent radius, ionic radius, van der Waals radius. I have to run over the introduction of an atomic radius again. Atomic radius of a chemical element is a measure of the size of its atom, usually the mean or a typical distance from the center of a nucleus to the boundaries of the surrounding shells of the electrons. As we all know, it is the center. Like when the for example, if an atom is round the shape, the atomic radius is at the middle. I'll put it that is the middleman in the nucleus of an atom in an electron. Since the boundary is not a well-defined entity, I repeat, the boundaries of an atomic radius is not a well-defined physical entity. There are various non-equivalent definitions of an atomic radius. Like I said, there are also the types of an atomic radius, and these are covalent radius, ionic radius, van der Waals radius. So let us run through the history of an atomic radius. In 1920, shortly after it had became possible to determine the size of atom using X-rays. It means before atomic radius came into existence, X-rays has been used to introduce is used to introduce the sizes of an atom. It was suggested that all atoms of the same element have the same radius. It was just a suggestion. It was not a definite answer that all elements has the same element has the same radius with the same element. Electrons do not have definite orbits, sharply defined ranges. Range, it means that the electrons of an element do not have the definite orbit or sharply defined ranges. If an electron should be at a point of study, it do not have a definite orbit or a sharply defined ranges according to atomic radius. Rather than the position must be described as possibility description that taper of gradually or as one moves away from the nucleus that is sharply cut off. Atomic radii vary in a predictable and explainable manner across the periodic table. It means that atomic radii is in a very well explainable and predictable manner across the periodic table. For instance, now the radius generally decreases along each period of the table from the alkaline metals to the noble gas. Like, let's say in the periodic table for the for in the groups and also the periods, the radius generally decreases along the period of the table from the alkaline metals to the noble gases, and increases down each group column. It means as it decreases from the alkaline metals to the noble gas, it increases down each group in its column. Atomic rate, I will conclude by saying this, is determined as atomic radius is determined as half the distance between the nuclei of two identical atoms bounded together. The atomic radius of atom generally decreases from the left to right across a period. This means that in a nuclei of two identical atoms bounded together, the atomic radius decreases from the left and to the right across a period. So if it's decreasing at the left hand side, it will also decrease at the right hand side across the period. The atomic radius of atom generally increases from the top to the bottom with a group. If it's increasing at the top, it will flows down to the bottom. So atomic radius is very, very, very essential in the periodic table. It performs if not the major function in the periodic table. So in when you're talking about the periodic table of all the elements, starting from the first 20 elements to other elements, you should be able to know that atomic radius is related to it. Is related to it because far back the definition, it says atomic radius of a chemical element is the measure of the size of its atom, usually the mean or typical distance from the center of the nucleus to the boundaries of the surrounding shells of an electron. It means that it is the size of its atom. That's the first thing you should know, that atomic radius is the size of its atom, usually the mean or typical distance from the center of a nucleus to the boundaries of the surrounding shells of an electron. So with this few explanation of mine, I hope I have been able to convince and concluded my presentation on the topic atomic radius. So if there would be any questions, any query, if I said something wrong, I pray you pardon me, but if all I said is a bit right, I deserves a kudos though. Thank you very much. My name again remains Mark Nino Excellent. I just talked about the atomic radius of an element. Thank you very much, and God bless you for listening. I pray we all stand great in this pandemic, as you all have been able to tackle the issue in its manner, in its way of its manner, that you've been able to fight it. I pray everyone play safe, stay safe. I remain your main host, Mark Nino Excellent. Thank you very much. God bless you.